together. We know that we belong together. 'Cause we know we're stronger together. We know that we belong together.
Yes, Suzanne Christine. Sue that. That woman can sing.
I love that song. It's very nice.
Yes, we're stronger together. I love it. Yes, welcome back to Friday Night at the Lounge. Envy McKee. DJ Frosty Phoenix on the ones and twos. He's the DJ, I'm the rapper. It's not how it is. But, oh, we're back. And in the studio, as promised, we are venturing into the woo-woo. This whole entire month, we're having conversations about wholeness and the art of being whole. And we've tackled a lot of different parts of this. But the one thing that is really hard to talk about for some reason without, delving too deep into religion or even spirituality is talking about the soul, talking about what is good for the soul. What does it mean to be whole? And I feel like the easiest way sometimes to do that is to, talk about the more subtle arts. And the subtle arts being psychics and intuitives and people who do the tarot, divination, that kind of thing. There's a whole art, astrology even. Most of us dabble in that. Well, oh, did you read your scopes, girl? But I feel like we don't fully, we do it for entertainment because in polite company, that's not real. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of thing. But I feel like more and more we're starting to realize there's something to it. And my venture into the woo-woo, as I'm calling it, was really just as a life explorer, just saying, what if there's something to it? It feels like it goes. It feels good to my soul. You know what I mean? And that's why we continue to do it, but we don't want to act like we take it very seriously. Well, we're going to change some of that today. My journey woman in this thing, our resident scholar, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Ajima's in studio. Thank you for being here. I have to give you applause as Eric's on his game.
Yo, do you do this to intentionally get me on the mic at some point?
I do. Welcome.
Like, what do you have?
Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Why are you bringing the producer on the microphone? Why do you do that?
Because you're a part of the conversation, and you trying to act like you're not, and you're so Aries cool.
I have to drive the car. Who's driving the car now?
Listen,
no one.
I feel like if you can't multitask,
that's not multitasking.
We're in the back seat, so we're not responsible.
And the woman that I have been waiting to talk to on the mic since I found out on Monday she was going to be here, honey. Her name is Empress Naima, and I'm so glad that she's here. She's the psychic. And let me tell you something. Remember back in the day, say hi, by the way. Applause something.
Hi.
Okay, and she's listen, when regal, that's exactly what we're talking about. So remember back in the day, because I feel like most of our initial experience with psychic was you know what I'm about to say.
Call me now.
Yeah. What was her name?
Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo. Miss Cleo. And it was the psychic hotlines, and it was a whole fiasco because you would call, and this was kitties. This is when the phones, you used to have to pick them up, right, and they had cords. And your phone bill, it was a lot. Like, you had to pay money for long distance. It was a thing. And so Miss Cleo, lots of people went in debt trying to get their little horoscopes, not horoscopes, whatever it was. But were they horoscopes? Readings. They were trying to get readings, and how they get you was the first 12 minutes are free or something like that. It wasn't even that, but it would be this long drawn out thing, and before you know it, you have a $200, $300, $400, $500 phone bill. And I didn't do it because I would not be here alive to talk about it. But I'm just saying that there were lots of stories, and they're still even talking about it today, where they view the psychic phenomenon or those people who are sensitives, that kind of stuff, as fraudulent. And that's probably because there have been fraudulent people doing it. But I feel like it tainted the whole art poorly. And so if that is your entry point into this conversation, I'm going to ask you to put your baggage down, because we want to have an open discussion. We want to raise the vibration a little bit on this conversation, because there's something to it. There's a reason why so many people at the same time are getting really into crystals. You know what I'm saying? So many people at the same time are really spending time meditating or trying. You know, spending time in the space of yoga. Kundalini yoga is one of the disciplines that I find very attractive for my soul personally. The being an intuitive, being empathic, those are conversations that actually, you know, come up and nobody goes, for real? You know what I'm saying? So I'm inviting you into this discussion with an open heart and mind, and we're going to speak, you know, of the soul as in terms of the subtle body. You know, in terms of, you aren't your body, you are the soul that's inhabiting your body. Let's speak it from that standpoint. So you're not looking at yourself, a person of flesh. You're looking on the inside. You're kind of making room for, there's somebody that's noticing what's going on. There's someone driving your ship, which is your body, your meat suit. And what is that? And that's how we're going to approach this discussion. It'll make it easier for you. Okay? So welcome, ladies. now he's gonna be an Aries about it. You know what, Eric? I'm done with you today. So, Empress Naima, welcome. And you're not from here.
No, I'm not.
Where are you from?
I'm from Louisiana.
Oh, this might be yeah.
Okay.
You're from Louisiana.
I'm from Louisiana.
You know what? Some of my favorite intuitives are from Louisiana. Is there something are you from New Orleans?
No, I'm not. I have some family in New Orleans, but I am from Southwest Louisiana, from St. Mary Parish. We have parishes in
Yeah. Those of you who watch True Blood, you understand.
And I was raised in two small communities called Sherrington and Baldwin.
Okay.
And that type of thing is fairly common where I'm from.
Yeah.
People who have the gift, as they call it.
Yeah.
A lot of times is couched in Christianity, because like they refer to themselves as prophets or prophetesses, but,
right.
like, they basically doing the same thing that I can do. They just like do it. Well, how they do it? They claim the blood of Jesus or something like that, or they do it in the name of Jesus, but like it's the same thing.
Now, in your community, was hoodoo or voodoo a part of the dialect or part of the experience?
Yes, it was, but there was a lot of fear around it where I'm from. So where I'm from is real country.
Okay.
Like, I was raised on the bayou.
Crawfish and okra baths.
Well, no, we didn't take no baths. We eat it. I ain't never took no bath with no crawfish. I know about the okra.
No. Wait, let me go back. Let me go. Crawfish is one thing. Okra baths is something different.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Lord. You making soup? You making gumbo?
I don't know what that is.
She said, "No, ma'am. You got us wrong." Oh, Lord.
But so how can I explain this? Like, so there's like a lot of fear around it. Like where I'm from, like it's the Bible Belt, so people are like deeply into the church where I'm from. But like there's these ancestral traditions.
Yes.
That people still do. But where I'm from is like people will only really use it for malevolent purposes. Like how I started off, because I'm also a root worker. And so how I started off is like people started coming to me because like, somebody put a root on them, like maybe a love spell or like something.
How do you know?
I just know the spirits be telling me. And so people would come to me, and that became my specialty. It was like jinx removal and curse removal, because like where I'm from, people seem to lean more towards what you can do to harm somebody as opposed to using it to help themselves or to help somebody else.
Failure of imagination.
Yep.
Like, as a matter of fact, where I'm from, like, my grandfather, you could not pay him to eat anything with a red sauce. Because
That
and
geechee.
it's a lot of men still to this day where I'm from, like, their mothers grew up with their mothers telling them, if a woman feeds you something with some red sauce, don't eat it.
I've heard that.
Yeah, and okay, so for those of you who are not aware, there is a practice. I don't know if it's hoodoo. I don't know what it is, but it's a practice. I want to say that it was a geechee practice.
It's several traditions utilize this method.
Listen, where you would take menstrual blood and put it in the red sauce, and that was supposed to couple you with whomever it was.
Right. Either that or like you the sweat rice, like you
Sweat rice.
yeah, like you stand over a pot of rice and like it's hot and let the steam like. I might not
Okay,
need to
sweat
get into all
rice.
that
No,
on the radio,
listen.
but
Did she say sweat rice? You it's hot in
I
Louisiana,
don't
and
know
you
what-
stand over a pot of rice with no drawers on, and you let the sweat go into the rice. I would be mortified to eat anything. You just changed my whole dynamic. Listen.
That's why a lot of times when you hear them old people be like, you can't eat at everybody's house. It's not only because of
It's not
cleanliness.
because of the potato salad.
It's not
It's
because they
of
put
sweat
raisins
rice.
in the potato salad or they not clean. Like they might, I've come from a long tradition on this. Like my great grandmother, where I'm from, back in the day, like when black people couldn't go to the doctor, she was who everybody came to.
Right.
And she had this vast knowledge of roots and herbs and like what she can use in her natural environment.
She was an
to heal
herbalist.
people. Yes,
and
basically, yes.
an eclectic.
Yes. And so I've heard lots of stories about how people could use these arts to like get people really messed up. And like that just I'm like all the things that you could do those things.
But why can't you root yourself $1 million?
Right, why can't you they always want to do something to get somebody else, man. Like don't you know you could do something to get your own, man?
Yeah, how about that?
That's gonna worship the ground that you walk on. Like there's no need for you to like break up somebody else's situation or do things to make other people unhappy when like there's so many other great things that you can do with
Yeah.
it, you know?
Not everybody's well rounded in their own happiness.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I'm going to agree with that because it takes a certain level of bitterness
And
to
hell
actually
froze
walk.
over. Okay,
They're not whole.
because you agree with me.
I agree with you all the time,
I'm
Eric. What are you
joking.
Listen, I don't know what got your little
I
manties in a bunch.
I can't joke with you today.
You
I'm
can't.
Side topic. I'm sorry. Right back.
Eric knows I'm fasting. And he's trying to test the waters and see if I'm going to having a. It's not going to work. I meditate. Go ahead.
But what else?
No, I want. So you come from a long line, so you already knew. Now, is it like you? Did you see Harry Potter?
I've never watched Harry Potter.
Okay, so the Muggle reference
But,
isn't
like,
gonna work.
Like it's like I knew but I didn't. It's like the people in my family they don't refer to like it comes from my father's side. So my father he's psychic, but he doesn't call it that. He just say he be knowing.
Amanda Seals.
And then his mother was I never knew her. She died 10 years before I was born, and her mother, his grandmother, also had that gift, and probably her mother before her.
Do any of your siblings have it?
They do, but like they haven't. Like I have a couple of brothers who like their insight is like on it, but like they're like they have to grow into it, and
Yeah.
that's what happened with me. Like my entire life, I thought I was just really good at guessing stuff, and then like I saw how good my father was at it, and like even my mama to some degree, and I'm just like, I'm thinking like this is something that everybody can do, and so I didn't realize what it was, the gift that I had, until I was 30. I'll be 35 in a couple of weeks.
Wow.
So it's been like 5 years where I've just really truly embraced it. Like I didn't even really know that this was something that other people could do.
It is perfect timing because more and more people are embracing it and saying,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Like back in 2008, is when I really started studying spirituality and stuff. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder with schizoaffective tendencies, but like you could not tell me the things that I saw during those episodes weren't real. And
What
like,
were you seeing?
all kinds of stuff about my future, things about my family, things about my career, things about my past, even like past lives and stuff. It's just like I was like seeing like it's like, this is your life, that type of thing.
And how does it show up? Is it like a screen in front of you? Is it like just flashes of stuff?
I just see images in my head. It's just like how you imagine anything else. It's just scenarios being shown to you in your head. I guess it's similar to like watching a movie.
Yeah.
But it's like you and the people that you know are in it. But like about 90% of the things that I saw during that so-called nervous breakdown has come to pass.
Listen.
And
So you're a prophetess.
yeah, I guess you could call me that. And so that led me to start looking up things on the internet. There was this website, I forgot what it was called. It might have been blackhistorybooks.com or blackhistory.com or something like that. And there were all these books with the title Metaphysics in them.
Yeah.
And like I was like dirt broke. I had just graduated from college. I hadn't had
Where'd you
a
go to
job.
school?
Southern University and A&M College.
What was your major?
Music.
And she's a musician.
Yes. Also on my daddy's side, they got the woo stuff, and my mama's side, they musicians.
I got everybody saying woo woo. I got everybody saying you woo woo. I got everybody saying you woo woo. Got everybody. Okay.
Yeah. So I play the trumpet. I sing. And I have a Bachelor of Music degree.
She said, I play the trumpet and I sing. Now, did you just know how to play the trumpet, or did you actually have to practice?
No, I got in band when I was in the 5th grade. So I stayed in band from 5th grade until I graduated from high school.
Yeah.
And I was in choir since I was a toddler, basically, because my mama and grandma had me singing in the choir at church. And so that's where my musical
I love it.
skills
I love
come
it. This is fascinating. Do you have questions?
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, woo-woo, right? Is that something that we all can tap into, or we might?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's called intuition.
Intuition.
But like for some people, it's just naturally more developed than anything else. Like how it's like with any other skill, like how some people are good with their hands, or some people are good with math, or some people are musically talented. There's some people. It's not like everybody can participate in those things, but there's some people who they just have a stronger affinity towards it, and it's the same thing with this kind of stuff. A lot of times those things are genetic also. So yeah, it's just based on, what's in your DNA, what's your ancestral heritage.
So for some people, you can't deny it's right there in your face. For others,
Right.
you might just need to pay attention more, listen to.
Right. Everybody can, I like to say that everybody is psychic. Everybody has this ability to access their higher selves and to tap into information that's not necessarily of this realm.
Right.
But like I feel like even though it came to me naturally, like all the years that I studied, like I studied all types of religions, Buddhism, Hinduism, I've studied Kabbalah, I've even looked into some Sufism. And I feel like that was sort of like a training for me with that kind of stuff, because I didn't start doing psychic readings because like that's what I wanted to do. It was like I just used to post a lot of spiritual stuff on Facebook and on Instagram, and people started coming to me while I guess I was going through this transformation myself, and then like all of a sudden like people, grandmas talking to me, or like I just know things about them, like there's no way that I should know these things.
Yeah.
And then somebody who I get readings from, they came to me for a reading. They was like, well, Spirit told me that you could help me out. And
you're like, wait.
And I'm like, what? But like the day before, like these other people had, like it was like a 3-day span. After I came back from this spiritual retreat, it was like the floodgates just like burst open, and people started coming to me. Like I didn't even like have to like say it. So I feel like when you really have like a gift, like the God or the universe or whatever higher being you believe in is going to put you in situations that allow you to express it.
You gotta be ready to receive it.
Right.
Yo, and I think that's the key here. A lot of us are so blocked off. I think it's real that maybe the fluoride in the water is calcifying our pineal glands, and we all wonky in the third eye region. I think it's real that the food that we eat constricts our ability to be light enough to get some of these messages that are coming through.
Right.
I think it's real that being in a high tech, low touch society, you know, something as simple as being able to talk to your neighbor, it gets complicated because everybody's energy is kind of weird, and you're like, I don't want you near me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we block ourselves off. And so this is a powerful discussion. When we come back, I want to talk about the cards.
Okay.
I want to talk about divination. I want to, I really want to delve in. And you, if you're listening and you want to get a reading, or you have questions, do you have the gift? 215-634-8065, 866-361-0900. We're venturing wholeness through the woo-woo. Right here on 900 AM, 96.1 FM WRD.
You're going to copyright that?
I am.
Brothers and sisters,
Don't miss The Source
weekdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
on Word Radio.
WordRadio.com and the Word Radio app.
Who will protect the citizens of the tri-state area from careless motorists, doctors who make medical mistakes, and companies that make defective products? Who will ensure that property owners are held accountable for dangerous conditions on their land? Who will represent the people with the honesty, integrity, and compassion that they deserve?
I will. I'm Sam Anion, your advocate, your lawyer, but most importantly, I'm your friend.
For more information, call 215-935-6901. That's 215-935-6901. Call now.
WordRadio.com.
I ain't no better than you, and you ain't no better than me. But we all have something in common. We all are species, seeds of God's creation.
Tune in to Messages in the Music every Friday night with Joey T, midnight to 6 a.m. right here on WURD.
This is Kyle Ingram from Peyote Vision. Shout out to Jay Brown and DJ Ideal Boyfriend, and you are listening to The Lounge on WURD.
Hey now, this is Dr. Guthrie Ramsey of Musicology, and you're listening to The Lounge on Word Radio.
Welcome back to Friday Night at the Lounge. Emmy McKee, DJ Frosty Phoenix. What is the face for?
Was that shade?
It was shade.
Okay.
Well done.
All right.
I'm glad you caught it. He's rammy today. He's an Aries, what can I say? 215-634-8065, 866-361-0900. We are venturing into the woo-woo. We're finding our wholeness through woo. I feel like that's...
I love the truncated.
It's like a Wu-Tang album. Now we know what woo stands for. It's woo-woo. So in the studio, we have Dr. Ajima, and we have Empress Naima. And so if you're just tuning in, first of all, you're late, but thank you for being here. Second of all, how cool is it that behind the scenes we were talking about, we all have access to this? You know what I'm saying? How cool is that? And we were talking behind the scenes about how Naeem and I both met our significant others, and we basically like wrote them into existence. There is also this morning when Naeem and I were talking, I was texting somebody, and it was you.
Oh yeah, you did text me this
I
morning.
was texting Dr. Ajima this morning, and at the very same time that I was writing her name, she called. At the same time, I didn't know the number, so I didn't answer the phone. And then I went back to listen to the message. I was like, no. And so I called her back, and she was like, I was literally just talking about you. And she's like, oh, for real? Yeah, that happens. And she's so... And then there was something else. There was something else in our conversation. You know, there's some connections. I have the same birthday as your brother.
Right.
And then there was something else. Like she was saying something about one of the masks in the studio, and she's like, "Oh, is this from?" I guess she said Benin.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she was saying, I don't know anything about Benin, by the way. I probably am pronouncing it correctly.
Benin.
Benin. There you go. I said Benin in my head the same time she said Benin, and I was sitting here like, what is happening? And I was like, I think we're connected or something, because this is weird. And I also have to preface this by saying I was the greatest, biggest skeptic known to man. I was very skeptical. I mean, I've always had, yoga was as far as I was going with it. You know what I mean?
This was circa how long ago?
It was a while ago.
Oh.
It was a long time ago. But I've been on this journey, and I called it life exploring because I was so stuck and stiff about stuff. And that was my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up Catholic, and even though I didn't believe anything that they said, it was like I was kind of taught and socialized to believe if it is not one of the Abrahamic religions, it's not real. Mm-hmm. And so even though my soul was crying, I still kind of, I don't want to rock the boat. And my greatest venture, I'm going to say, I put my toe in when I wrote my first book, and it's all the woo-woo. But I was not strong enough to hold it. So I kept it bottled for like 7 years. I didn't even publish it for 7 years because I was afraid of it. All the information that came out, I didn't even know where it came from. I didn't even know any of the stuff. I was like, this is crazy. And people are going to think I'm crazy, and then plus the men in black are going to come find me. So it was all of those things. And, you know, it's very validating, though, to be in a world where it's starting to open up and to be, you know, it's just not so weird. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, I think it was, I don't know if it was Ulta or Sephora, but it was like one of those big stores was like selling like basically like witch kits. It had like sage and crystals in it. I was like, wow, this stuff is
They just
like
commercialized.
But see, that's
really
that's not even
now.
witchy. Sage is smudge is
so
is
basic.
indigenous.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She said it so basic. She said, yeah, boy, you still on crystals. She said, I make whole herbal kits. She gave me.
Y'all.
Listen, sometimes you gotta call it. You know what I'm saying? She brought me this oil, and I've been getting into oils. I I order oils from actual witches. I don't consider myself a witch, although I have been called a witch, and I'm sure there was supposed to be a B in front of it.
I've been like, thanks.
Right. I had a conversation with somebody, and they were like, "You're such a witch," and I was just like, "Well, witches are very powerful people, so thank you." It didn't go the way you planned, did it? Oh, actually, I have been called a witch, but by a guy suitor back in the day. But it was something. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. It's not my current. So I think we need to move on. Well, I was asking you something. Oh, I'm into the oils now, where they're the conjuring oils, that kind of stuff. You make oils. Mm-hmm. But you don't call them. She said. I said, "Well, what is this for? Is this for money?" And she's like, "It's for everything, girl." She's like, "The oils I make have like 300 herbs from the coast of Africa." Oh. I traveled to all of these places subconsciously, and I put them in the oil. I soul traveled to bring them to you.
Wow.
And this small
I'm here roasted right now.
No, you're not. I'm being honest and serious, because I was sitting here like, anyway.
Selling water to fish.
Selling water to fish.
Oh.
So how did you? So we talked about how you got, how you figured out that you had the gift, but is it a process to journey into oils and cards and that kind of stuff?
Well, I think all of those, from the oils and the candles and stuff that I make, and
you make candles too, girl. You about to take all my money.
Yes. I am in the receiving mood.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I love it.
What was I saying?
Candles.
Oh, yeah, candles.
In receiving mood.
It's like you said something about money. It's like something clicked, but it's just a natural progression, because I was just studying. I am like a bookworm. Like, I read an entire set of encyclopedias when I was 8 years old. Oh. So like I've been able to read since I was 3. So I just love information, and I'm a Gemini. So I'm a knowledge junkie, and things of a mystical nature have always appealed to me, even as a child. Like, my favorite shows was Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie.
Mine too.
Right. And like, I used to love whenever Sylvia Brown would be on Montel Williams' show. That would be my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
And then I read also a lot of Greek and Roman mythology, because my grandma was always bringing. My grandmother was a teacher. She taught 4th grade for like 38 years. And so she was always bringing home like old books from the library, and when she brought home like a bunch of stuff about mythology, it just like
lit you up.
Right, it's just like lit something inside of me. So that type of stuff has always appealed to me, and I feel like everything that I'm doing, from the candles to the psychic readings to the making condition oils and mojo bags and that type of stuff, it's just a natural progression. I feel like I learned these things because these are things I was supposed to know.
Yes.
And as far as like how I came across the knowledge, like I just read books. There's books about this type of stuff, about the herbs and stuff, and the different things that you could do with them and their magical properties. And then also, like, I really feel like I channel my great grandma. She was like a master at that type of stuff.
Really?
And like, yes, because like, it's like when I first started doing it, and like I would tell my daddy, like, I went and I picked this and that, and I did this with it, and he was like, hold up, my grandma used to do that. It's like, that happened like maybe like 5 or 6 times, to where like I came up with like this formula, and like my daddy goes and tells me like that's something that my grandmother used to do. So like, I feel like I have like
it's a really
strong connection with her. Like,
and you never met her?
I met her once when I was like a baby, and like I didn't see her again until her funeral when I was 6.
Wow.
And like, that's the only memory I have of her, is at her funeral. She was, I think, like 98 or 99 when she died.
And she's like, you gonna take this gift. I came to deliver a package and you gonna get it.
My daddy said that she told him that I was special or something when I was a baby. The one time that she saw me, but like the stories that my dad would tell me about her, like he told me the story about he was sick. It was like he had like a really bad infection in his foot. It had gotten like gangrene or something like that, and he might have started to go septic or something. He just got really sick. He said his grandma, my great grandmother, put a brick in the fire and then took the brick and put it by a tree, made him pee on the brick, and then like she wrapped him in a blanket with a bunch of herbs in it, and he went to sleep. And when he woke up, her foot was completely healed, and he felt fine.
See, that's so fascinating to me. It is. Like just the prescription, like the brick. Right. And then urinating on the brick by the tree.
Right.
And,
it's like a transference of energy. And like that story, when he told me that story about her, it just like it just like fascinated me, and I always wanted to know more about that stuff. But like until like I was in my like late 20s, I didn't even really like start to realize like just how gifted I was in that manner.
Wow. That transfers of energy, that is a powerful statement to make, and it's something that we talked about behind the scenes a little bit. I mean, we talked about on the air too, but I feel like that's metaphysics. When we talk about sciences, we don't think of these things as science, but we're not taking into account that we're all energy.
Right.
So let's have that conversation. And then I want you to pull them cards out. She got her crystal over here. And we're going to take Herman, we see you. Herman, we're going to take your call when we come back. 215-634-8065, 866-361-0900. Friday night at the lounge. It's lit. I told you. We'll be right back.
You asked for it, and you've got it.
The rapping professor, Dr. Aaron Smith, will be in the community now more than ever.
I'm out in these streets.
With Word Show on the Go. Hosted by the rapping professor, Dr. Aaron Smith.
Holla at your boy.
Learn where you can catch Word Show on the Go at wordradio.com.
Or search the hashtag Word Show on the Go.
For more information, follow us on social media at onWURD. And stay tuned to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD.
And wordradio.com.
The Kimmel Center for the Performing Arts is excited to present the next installment of their Jazz Residency collaboration for 2019. In its 6th year, the Kimmel's Jazz Residency program is designed for groups of local artists to create their amazing personal stories through the jazz music genre. Performing in the Kimmel's SEI Innovation Studio Thursday, June 6th will be trombonist Dan Blacksburg with percussionist Joseph Goldman. Friday, June 7th will feature the amazing sounds of guitarist David Allen, poet laureate Raquel Salas Rivera, and violinist Diana Monroe. And June 8th, the soulful Latin American composer Dario Peñazek, lyricist Maya Peñazek, and singer Ariacine Trujillo. Tickets on sale now for these special BYO events. Visit kimmelcenter.org or call 215-893-1999. Be heard.
Be heard.
Want another way to join the conversation?
Follow us on social media.
Using the hashtag onWURD.
Be heard.
Stay connected to Word Radio.
Independent Black Media.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work.
Sorry, I'm late.
Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi. Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey, everybody.
I'm Aja.
And I'm Fatine of Kindred the Family Soul. You're listening to The Lounge with Envy McKee and DJ Frosty Phoenix.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now.
Tune in on YouTube at onWURD
or on Facebook at forward.
Word TV.
Black Talk Media.
Welcome back to Friday Night Lounge. Shout out to Rihanna, my booze bae. I always tell him if I ever meet Rihanna, and I know I will, I'm gonna blow up your whole spot.
Maybe in one of her designer outfits now.
Yeah, right? I know I will. Anyway, so we have some questions for Empress Naima. There's one, Martin, there's one from Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
What?
What are the indications that one is gifted?
What are the indications that one is gifted? And by the way, we're delving into the woo-woo. We have a psychic in the building.
Wow, that's like a broad question because there's so many ways to know. Like, one of the ways you can tell is if it's more of a feeling than anything else. Like, you just, your ability to feel things and to sense things about other people is heightened, and there's no really way to describe how you would know. You just know. It's like one of those things where when you have it, you just know. I guess I can talk about how I knew, and how I knew is like I'm good at picking up on people's energy and reading them. Like, anytime anybody who knows me personally, when they will tell you, like, if I tell them, this person don't mess with them, and they go and do it anyway, they always come back and tell me, like, man, you was right about them. They was bogus. They did this, and that.
And you like, I told you.
I didn't used to do that, but now I do. I'm like, I told you about them. I told you, but did you listen? No. I was like, people pay me good money to tell them what I told you. But another way you'll know is like synchronicities or coincidences. They'll happen with more frequency, like how you were explaining about how I called White when you were mentioning
saying your
her.
name.
Right. God, I'm trying to just think of some more stuff off the top of my head.
But I feel like, you know, if you're an intuitive, you're going to intuit some things. And I feel like the key thing that you're going to intuit is your ability to intuit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Another way, you would be more empathic. You would probably be more inclined to refer to yourself as an empath. And an empath is short for empathy. And that's just the ability to feel what other people are feeling or sense what it is that they're experiencing. That's all I can really think of off the top of my head right now. But like it's more of a feeling. It's like more dreams. If you have vivid dreams, that's a good way of knowing. Like, cause it's just so many ways that people have to communicate with the spirit realm, and like it's like if I could probably sit here for an hour and list signs that you have a gift because it shows up in different ways for different people.
That's right, and it's going to be unique to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Dr. Atima, you think you have a gift?
No, just what you just said is going to be unique to you. And we're talking off air about, you know, if anyone can tap into that realm. And I mentioned how just some period times in my life, particularly crossroad periods, like I would like have this image in my mind of like primordial stew of someone that I was thinking about or something that was stressing me out. And she's like, yeah, that there are certain times in which, you know, you can tap into it, but also it can easily go away. And that's, you know, one of the questions I had about, you know, it's a gift that we can all tap into, but we can also lose it. And so is that
I would say
accurate?
Really lose it,
Okay.
but like just not be in alignment with
Okay.
it. Because it never goes away. It's always there.
Always there.
But it's things that we can do, is emotions that we can cling on to that'll like dampen that connection, but like it's always there. Like even when like before I knew what a psychic was, I knew whether or not somebody had good intentions when I was around them. So the level and the degree of the accuracy that you have of that kind of stuff, it really just depends on how well you take care of yourself.
Oh, okay.
How well you whether or not you nourish your mind and your spirit and your body, because it's all connected.
And what are some specific things that someone could do to take care of themselves to make sure that they're as in close alignment as possible?
Drink water.
Okay. Really?
Drink
Why?
water, yeah.
Why water?
Well, because like you need it for your body. Your brain needs oxygen, and your brain is the conduit through which all these things happen. So you need a healthy brain. I would say also eating brain foods like fish and avocado and nuts, because like people forget that part a lot. Like there is like neuroscience that's involed with this.
This woman does. I love this woman.
She's legit.
Encyclopedic knowledge.
This woman.
Yes.
She said, "There's
Thanks for
a
them
such thing."
encyclopedias, Grandma. But yeah, you get, in order to like really do this at a high level, you have to take care of your brain. You also have to take care of your body. You can meditate, and there's all different types of meditations that you can do. One of my favorites is called the microcosmic orbit, and that's like
you have to explain what the microcosmic. What did you say?
It's the meditation called the microcosmic orbit.
Microcosmic orbit.
And it's a breathing meditation, and all you do is like it's different for men and women, but it has to do with like energy channels in the body, and you do a visualization at the end, and like that just really does it for me, that one right there. But there's all types of meditations that you can do. There's even like meditation apps now. If like, because I have a lot of people, they tell me when I tell them like you need to meditate, they be like, oh, well, it's so hard for me to focus. And like That's not even really an excuse, because there's meditations, there's like audio files you can listen to that will put you in a meditative
That's right. I
state.
do
Those
meditations, guided meditations.
Those binaural beats.
Yes, I love
those are the
those.
truth. That's how I started off meditating, because my mind is so all over the place. Like, I needed something to help me get to that space.
And the bells, they're not, you know what I'm talking about, the singing bowls.
Those
Singing bowls.
Singing bowls, right. So a binaural beats, this is great for, I recommend this for anybody who say like they can't keep still long enough to meditate. So a binaural beat is an audio file where you have one frequency playing in the right ear and a different frequency playing in the left ear. But with your brain doesn't hear two different frequencies. Your brain hears a phantom frequency, which is the difference between the two that's playing in your ear. And when you hear,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I love this woman.
Yeah, and when you thank you, I love you too. But and when you listen to these, they lower your brain waves. So like right now we're in like a beta brainwave state. That's like when you're awake and you're fully engaged. And then like they start off typically bringing you down to the alpha state, and the alpha is like when you're relaxed, you're watching TV, you're reading a book, you know, like you're studying, like that focused attention, but like you're not really aware of everything else that's going on. And then like they bring you down deeper into the theta state, and that's where like the magic happens, or like the dreams and stuff, and the visualizations. And you can achieve that just by listening to these audio files. They have like programs that's like will take you or ease you into like the deeper levels and stuff.
Yeah.
So like binaural beats, that's really great for people who are like, they have a hard time focusing.
I love it. I love it. So listen, I feel like she needs to, I just love.
I experienced 2 chills since we had this conversation.
Like, it's just, this is,
and I need you to help me understand that. Is that like another?
Yeah, that's a
having
sign.
chills?
Twice.
Twice.
Yeah, that's a sign that you know you in the flow.
You in the flow. And you're exactly where you're supposed to be, boo.
Yep.
At the lounge.
At the lounge. Friday night at the lounge. You see what I did there? 215-634-8065, 866-361-0900. We're going to pay these bills when we come back. Empress Naima, really this time, is going to do some readings. She's going to do cards. And she does her cards differently. And Herman, we have not forgotten about you, Herman. We love you. We'll be right there. You're amazing. Friday night at the lounge. We'll be right back.
Get your money straight.
Get my money right.
With Solomon Jones and Akbar Hassan.
Fridays on Wake Up with Word.
7 a.m. till 10 a.m. Hosted by Solomon Jones. Exclusively on Word Radio. 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD.
Streaming live on wordradio.com and on the Word Radio app.
Join Word Radio for the Philly Farm Social, Friday, May 31st from 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. at the Sankofa Community Farm at Bartram's Garden. 5400 Lindbergh Boulevard. This special event is part of our onWURD Environmental Justice Initiative. Come out for a powerful conversation, cooking demonstration, and food tasting, where we will explore urban farming, food insecurity, and seasonal cooking. Our special guests will be Christopher Bolden Newsom, founding co-director of the Sankofa Community Farm, food and drink historian Tanya Hopkins, and LaQuanda Dobson, member of the Black Dirt Farm Collective and assistant farmer at Sankofa Community Farm. Tickets are just $25, $15 for 4WURD members. For tickets and additional information, or to start or renew your 4WURD membership, visit wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875.
We first opened about 10 years ago. We were small, just a few of us, but it was exciting. I always dreamt of having my own business. It was kind of slow at first, but things started picking up. We had big plans, but in our wildest dreams, we never thought we'd have this much work. Yeah, with so many businesses caught off guard by the storm, Reed Waste Management has never been busier.
What will become of your business after a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency, and 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now, before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
I ain't no better than you, and you ain't no better than me. But we all have something in common. We all are species, seeds of God's creation.
Tune in to Messages in the Music every Friday night with Joey T, midnight to 6 a.m. right here on WURD.
We are progressive and proud and interactive. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at onWURD. This is WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia. Streaming live at wordradio.com.
Hey everybody, we're Kindred, the Family Soul, and you're tuned into The Lounge with Envy McKee
and DJ Frosty Phoenix
on WURD.
Everything around me move. Got nervous when you looked my way, but you knew all the words to say. Then your love slowly moved right in. All this time, oh my love, where you been? I'm worried, don't you know? My love, I want you so. Tastes so sweet. Mesmerizing every way. Keep me in a state of daze. Your kisses make my skin feel weak. I'm always melting in your heat. Then I soar like a bird in the wind. Oh, I glide as I'm flying through heaven. Amore, don't you know? My rapture tastes so sweet. Amore, don't you know, my love, I want you so. Sugar, you make my soul complete. Rapture tastes so sweet.
He said, wait for the beat to drop. Welcome back to Friday Night at the Lounge. 900 AM, 96.1 FM, WRD. I'm MV McKee, DJ Frosty Phoenix on the ones and twos. He's the DJ, I'm the rapper. It's never going to get old to me. That's my shout out to Will Smith. He'll be on the show. Watch. Dr. Ajima is in the building. Empress Naima is in the building. And Herman is in the building. Herman, you have been so patient, and I am so grateful for your patience that you are going to be our inaugural read. That means you're going to be the first one. I'm giving you my space in line, Herman. Are you there, Herman? Okay, call back, Herman. So I guess that means I get to go first. Dr. Jima, do you want to go first? Do you have a question?
No.
You don't?
I would like a reading, but hopefully I want Herman to call back, after yours. So
You can go first if you want to. Do you want to go? Do you have a question? Okay, Eric, do you have a question?
No, I'm pretty solid on everything that's been said.
Okay,
so
before we do that, so I thought that when Martin said cards, I thought that you did the tarot.
No.
And she does not. Her divination is through playing cards, and those are some sexy playing cards. And it was interesting because we also connected earlier talking when she said the playing cards. I said I used to find cards on the ground all the time.
Those are messages.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And she showed me in her phone, she has like 11 cards that she took pictures of. She finds cards everywhere. And then once I started, I guess I want to say that I don't know if it's an evolution, but somebody on the other side is trying to get my attention, because it started with the cards and then it moved to coins. And I guess the coins were more prevalent. I would find pennies everywhere, even places where it was bone dry a minute ago. Now there's a penny, and then it was dimes and quarters. There's all kinds of stuff, and I learned the I Ching because of it. Mm-hmm. And so now when I see them, I pick them up and put them down. I have like this space that I put them down in the order that I found them, and then once I get to enough rows, I'll actually look up with the I Ching. But these are all divination things, just so that you know. She uses playing cards. And why playing cards?
Because I was broke and these cost $1.
That's awesome. I love it.
That's why I started making deodorant. So there you go.
No, when I first started off, I was so broke. I was living with my parents, and I wanted to buy a tarot deck so bad, but
the good ones,
I either want the best or I don't want anything at all.
They're hugging on the air for those that can't watch on Facebook Live.
I understand that this is your wife, but I'm taking her home.
Now, Dr. A is also hugging the Empress.
I just love her. I just loved her earphones off. I love her. So, oh, can you please be my bestest friend? Oh my God. Do you do blessings?
Yes, I do.
Okay, off the air, we're going to talk about something.
Yeah, I do blessings. But,
okay, cool.
So, back to these cards. So, the tarot cards that I saw that I wanted, they were like $40, $50 a deck. And, I couldn't afford that because, at the time, I was just I was a substitute teacher teaching voice lessons. So, it wasn't a whole lot of money coming in. So, but I saw somebody post something a little mini book about how to read these as
That's
like
a sexy
tarot.
deck.
And yes, my husband picked that out. He has good taste.
Elementary. These are fire cards.
I need to find the other elements. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, but before that I had and before that maybe like a couple months before I had encountered this root doctor, and he was using playing cards. So like I was like, oh, he using playing cards, and then I saw this book. I was like, okay, that's a sign.
Okay.
So I went to the Dollar General and got me a deck of cards for $1, and I started using that guide. And this other book called Cards of Your Destiny by Robert Kemp. Between the guide that I had, the little ebook, and this other book by Robert Kemp, I like learned the definitions. And I was like using my friends as guinea pigs. Like my friend, like one of my best friends, she was calling me. She was like, "Girl, what your cards say about this?" And so like I was like, because I was using my friends to practice. So like that's how I learned.
And then they'll give you the real truth too.
Oh yes, my friends are rude.
I love it.
They don't care about your feelings. And that's why they're my friends, because they tell me the truth.
I love it. And so that gets you to hone in your skills. So Herman is back on the phone. Hey, Herman.
Hello.
How are you? He said hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you heard me that time.
Okay. So do you have a question for Empress Naima that you want her to look up in the cards? You kind of need a question.
Yeah.
Well, generally, I wanted to just ask whatever she could say to me about me, maybe what I could expect down the line. But what kind of question could I ask?
Well, you can ask about anything that's safe for radio.
Well, I'm thinking entrepreneurial.
Okay, so like you want to know about your business.
Yeah, I mean, right now I don't have a business, but I've always aspired, and nothing has panned out yet.
All right. So
she's
so we can
shuffle the deck.
So even so basically, like you just want to know when things are going to pop for you on the entrepreneurial side, and whether or not it's a good idea for you to even go into business.
Yes.
All right. So right now I'm shuffling my cards.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a little silence from me other than these cards.
Okay.
Well, if y'all want to play some Jeopardy theme music in the background, you can. Okay, stop. That's distracting.
Let's play some binaural beats.
Oh no, I'm gonna really get to the zone.
Let's see that.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so I pulled 3 cards for you. Anybody that I do a reading for online, I'm just going to pull 3 cards. And the first card represents the past, the second card is the present, and the king is future possibilities.
Okay.
And I say possibilities because what I'm doing, I'm reading your energy as it is in this moment right now. But just know, like, if something negative comes up, that this is not written in stone, and you can change the outcome by changing your actions and by changing your thoughts.
Okay.
Okay, so the first card I have for you in past position is the Ace of Clubs, and the Ace of Clubs is a card of new ideas. It's a card of or a new perspective. So this will tell me that this idea is not new per se, but like it is something that's like that's new as far as your focus is like you have this like passion that has been like renewed or something like that as far as this goes. And like, this is just telling me that you're ready for something different. You're ready to experience change. You're ready to feel more in control of your life and then more in control of your narrative.
Okay.
Now, the next card I have for you, the Six of Hearts. This is a card that has to do with karma when it comes to your emotions or your relationships. And it's interesting that this is coming up for a business reading. Anytime hearts come up and I'm talking about business, this means that relationships are going to be super important to you. In order for you to move forward in business, you're going to have to build relationships. You're probably going to have, because it's a 6, and 6s a lot of times have to deal with the past or people that you've had occurrences with before. Like, you're going to have to basically like go back and like ask some favors, cash in some favors, get people that you know to help you. I get the feeling like you've done a lot to help other people, and now it's time for them to like basically like give back to you what you've given to them. Yeah. And the last card that I have for you is the King of Hearts, and the King of Hearts is a card that has to do with self-mastery when it comes to your emotions and it comes to your relationships. And like for you, I just feel like whatever, I don't know what it is that you do, I don't really have time to get too deep into it, but I feel like relationships are key to whatever it is that you do. And I feel like you've fostered some good relationships, and you have to create more. And it's going to be a thing with you where like once you decide to like stop being scared and just move forward, then like you're gonna like almost like magic attract the right people to you. Because like I feel like I'm seeing this image of like keys and doors, so like it's probably somebody that's like some type of gatekeeper, or people who are like already aware, already in the position that you want to be like maybe it's getting some mentors or something like that, or forming alliances. That like I feel like that's like, if you do that, first you got to stop being scared. You got to stop being worried. You already know that you're supposed to move forward, and you know what it is that you need to do. You just need to do what it is that you already know, and you also have to be mindful of the relationships that you have and make sure that you nurture them. And when you do that, then you're going to have success in your business.
Okay, great. One question. You mentioned relationships in both the for the present, from that Six of Hearts, and the future, that King. What was that?
The King of Hearts.
Yeah, the King of Hearts. So, is there a distinction in the relationships in either of those between business and personal?
I feel like the answer to that is yes and no, because like I feel like there's there are people that you're going to be involved with in business that you already have a personal relationship with, but like there's also like people that you have yet to meet that you're going to build relationships with, who are going to be involved also.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm enjoying the conversation. NV, the Lounge rocks on Fridays, and I look forward to it.
Thank you. Thanks, Herman.
All right, I'll continue to listen.
Okay, well, okay. You have a question, Doctor?
I yield to you.
Oh, my God. Why do y'all keep yielding to me? Because I have like 4 questions, so I'm trying to break them down.
My question's heavy.
That's okay.
Heavy.
It can be heavy.
This is what I do.
Okay.
This is what I do, so no question is too heavy.
Nah.
Okay. Go ahead. No.
Oh, so who I'm doing a reading for next?
Dr. A.
Okay. So what you want to know?
What's my life's purpose?
What's your life's purpose? Wow, that is a heavy question. Let me see if I can give you some insight on that. That's not a question. You think that would be a question that I get more often?
Really?
I
thought it was a bit cliche.
People care generally about love and money. People come to me when they want to know about when they gonna have a little boo. When they gonna have a boo thing, and when they money gonna start looking.
Anybody ever ask you what they're gonna eat tomorrow?
No, but it's funny you say that, because like the reason I use cards is not because I can't do it without it, but like I'll like tell you something frivolous that has nothing to do with why you came to get a reading, like what you had for lunch or something. Like I had a client recently, like I was like, why am I seeing bubbles? And she was like, oh, my client is a soda company. I was like, so like that's, people don't need to get that type of insight from me, but like some of the trivial things that I can pick up on, so like these cars are like my filter.
Okay. It's like is it like an anchor? I've noticed, I was watching your process, right? So it looks like when you put the cards, as you're shuffling the cards, it's almost like you travel.
Yes.
And you're waiting for the moment where the card needs to go down. I'm watching your face change. It's almost like you're talking to yourself on the inside, and I can see you doing it.
Yeah, like I hear this voice tell me, like I hear this countdown. They start to 3 more times, 2 more times, 1 more time, and like then I just know like, okay, stop and start pulling. Or sometimes like when your spirits around you really want you to get a message, cards will pop out the deck, and I'll be like, okay, well let me lay this one down because clearly there's a message there for them, you know.
Okay.
But let's see what your life purpose is. I don't know how deep we'll be able to get into that with 3 cards. But like, this should be a good summary. Let's see.
And they
popped out the back though. So
what does that mean?
I've never had that happen before, but like I'm asking, like, is that just because I do got oil on my hands? So,
but those are 3 cards. Are those the same cards? No, they're different cards. Those are the ones.
Y'all think these the ones?
Those are the ones. And you just got finished saying it though.
I know. Okay, just give it to you how they gave it to me, child. Okay.
Popped right out as she said. Listen!
Actually, let's go to break right now.
Listen, I can't. Woo, Lord have mercy. Okay, we have to go to break. We're gonna leave you in suspense. That means you're gonna listen. 215-634-8065, 866-361-0900. I feel like Empress Naima is going to be a regular on the show because holy cannoli! This is Friday Night at the Lounge. We'll be right back.
Don't miss The Source.
Weekdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
on WURD Radio.
WURDRadio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Independence is a precious thing, but now and then everyone needs a little help. Isn't it good to know that getting the help you need doesn't mean drastically changing your life? Always Best Care Philly in Delaware is there to give you just the amount of help you need, from a few hours a week to as many hours as you need, handling everything from light housekeeping to meals, and so much more. Don't struggle. Contact Always Best Care and see how easy it is to age in place. Call us at 302-409-3710 or visit alwaysbestcaredelaware.com.
This is WURD Radio.
Independent Black Media.
Woo! Holla at your boy!
WURD Radio congratulates the Rappin' Professor on beating Shazam.
That's why we beat Shazam! WURD's own, the show is on the go!
Stay tuned to WURD Radio so you can stay informed about where to find the Rappin' Professor.
Hey everybody, we're Kindred, the Family Soul, and you're tuned into The Lounge with Envy McKee
and DJ Frosty Phoenix
on WURD.
tell him, don't tell him, don't tell him, don't. No, you say you're down with it, down with it. Don't tell him how you hit the ground with it, down with it. Girl, you know I'm from Chicago. I act the fool, Bobby Brown with it, in it. Nobody take me out though. You got kills, bring them down to South Park. Don't you worry about him, I gon' work it out. Don't you worry about him, I gon' work it out. Only it's you got me feeling like this. Oh, why? Love in my vibe in the rhythm, your hips, yeah. That's right. Rhythm is a dancer. I need a companion. Girl like that, that must be you. Body like a summer, touch it like no other. Don't you tell them what we do. Don't, you ain't got to tell them, don't tell them, you ain't got to tell them, don't tell them, you ain't got to tell them, don't tell them, don't tell them, you ain't, don't tell them, don't tell them, you ain't got to tell them, don't tell them, don't tell them, you ain't, don't tell them, don't tell them, you ain't got to tell them, don't tell them, don't tell them, don't. So you say you're down with it, don't tell them how you hit the ground with it. Girl, you know I'm from Chicago, I act the fool, Bobby Brown with it, ain't nobody take me out though. You got kills, bring them down to South Park. Don't you worry about him, I gon' work it out. Don't you worry about him, I gon' work it out. Only it's you got me feeling like this. Oh, why? Love in my family, love it on your ears. That's right. Only it's you got me feeling like this. Oh, why? Love in my family, love it on your ears. That's right.
Welcome back to Friday Night at the Lounge. Maybe. That's why. I was wondering why I couldn't hear myself. Now I know why. So we are talking about wholeness. The entire like look at the camera. Look at the screen. It is brighter in here, and nothing has changed. No one has touched anything, but that screen, it's like it's bright. Right. So listen, it could be, you can call whatever you want. Something is vibrating higher in here.
That's right.
And you know what's interesting? I was that person that you see what Eric's trying. You know what I'm saying? He tried. Anyway,
that used to be me too.
Right. I think we all go through that skeptic phase where we're like, oh, that's not real. I went so far. There's this guy named Blacko or something like that, Brazzo or something like that. He purportedly has the gift of being able to heal people just through looking at him. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yeah, I'm still skeptical about
Listen.
But
I did a whole thing, and we'll have to do a whole other show on that. You know, the different things, why the woo woo is called woo woo, because there's some people, you know, angelic breath. There's all kinds of stuff where you just kind of like, for real? Yes. Like, I went to this thing, we don't have time for it today, but just know that I went to one of his things. There's something to that too. I don't know what it is, but there's something to that too. So I come a long way.
Quantum physics, all the energy focus in one place. Some people believe, some don't, but there's a lot of energy in that room. I was there in New York when I was one of
Oh, you did the New York one?
Yeah,
I did the Philly one. I went to 3 of them things.
It was weird and strange at the same time.
It was.
It felt, because I'm an energy person, I felt good. I was like, ooh, I'm an energy vampire.
And people say that they're healed by him. So, you know what, there's something going on. Anyway, and you've changed the screen, but you didn't change what happened. Okay, so what happened? Okay, so you pulled these cards, and the cards literally jumped out of the deck. The spirits want you to know, the oracle wants you to know. What cards did she find?
Right. All right, Dr. A. So the first card I have for you for the past, and since you want to know about your purpose, I would guess this doesn't just relate to like your earlier years, but perhaps past lives also. So the Ace of Hearts is the first card of the deck. This is a card that has to do with self-love. It can also have to do with selfishness. Ace of Hearts can represent new relationships. It can also represent like a new baby or anything like that. Are you pregnant?
No.
Oh, okay. But as far as that relates to your purpose, this tells me that one of your reasons from coming here is to help people find that connection with themselves, to help them love themselves, to help them value themselves, to help them appreciate themselves, to teach people how to put themselves first. And not only are you here to teach that to other people, but you also, that's a lesson that you have to learn for yourself, because
You make me cry right
whatever,
now.
oh, I'm sorry. Give her some tissue, somebody. But in any lesson that we are here to teach other people, we have to go through it ourselves. We have to learn it ourselves. So that has been a big thing for you, just loving yourself and cherishing yourself and learning to honor yourself and I just keep hearing the word boundaries. Like you've had to learn how to set respectful boundaries, because like I can feel your energy. I felt it the moment I met you, and you're just like a really good person. You're a giving person, but like you've had to like establish like checks and balances, and it's like, if you didn't, before you did that, you were running yourself ragged trying to please other people, and you just had to like step back and be like, hold up, like if I just give to other people, I'm not gonna have nothing left for myself. And so that's one of the lessons that you came to teach people, is how to honor that connection with yourself, but that's something that you also had to learn how to do for yourself. Now, the next card that I have for you is the Six of Clubs. And 6 is a karmic number. So anytime the 6 comes up, this has to do with deal with the results of your past actions and your past thoughts and deeds. Now, the 6 of Clubs, the suite of clubs has to do with thoughts and communication. And so this tells me that the 6 of Clubs is a card of responsibility. You have the responsibility to speak truth to power. You have you are responsible for sharing a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge with other people. And you're a doctor, so that's just that's what doctors naturally do. And like it's your calling to help heal people, because 6 of Clubs can also be a card about healing people, particularly when it comes to the mind and the emotions. So yeah, that's another reason you're here, is just like to share like this vast wisdom that you've accumulated, not just during this lifetime, but like through other lifetimes, because like this isn't your first go round like this, and like you chose this lifetime, but like I can see like in other lifetimes you being like a healer and being like a priestess. Like you've always been on that side of society where like you help guide people, and that's one of the things with the 6 of Clubs also, like you're going to help guide people and teach them.
And she's a teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And through the law, though, like her specialty is law and legal and
criminal justice.
Criminal justice.
Right.
Isn't that powerful?
And the 6 of Clubs is that's definitely like represents, those areas of life, like the law and justice, and just like using your thoughts and using your words to like talk about injustice and the things that's wrong in the world and try to fix them, And the last card that I have, the Queen of Diamonds. The Queen of Diamonds is the card that has to do with self-mastery when it comes to service to others. And because diamonds have to do with value systems and finances, so that's something else that you came here to help people do. Like you came to show them how to master themselves so they can be more empowered, not only financially, but like also like help with their own value system, like make people re-examine like what is it to them that really matters, and help them see that that even though the Queen of Diamonds is a very material card, it can also on a deeper level be a card of deep wisdom and just having a strong value system and a strong sense of purpose. So like sometimes like I like to read these cards like it was a sentence. It's like if I was to read this as like a sentence, it's like you came here to help people love themselves, to teach them and to give them knowledge, and to help them refine their value system.
Amen.
Amen.
Received? You got it?
I shake.
I got it.
Ooh,
Did
girl.
that makes sense.
Wow. Thank you for sharing your gifts. Truly.
You're welcome. It is.
I got
a
emotional. I
pleasure.
started crying
I
because
saw
it
it.
was just
It was right there. And it
point
jumped.
for point. Yeah. Even going to points that past card that I had blocked out.
But you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
But you
Yeah.
always knew, and that's one of the things that I was thinking about earlier. Was just on my mind. It's like we all have this, but different. You know what I'm saying? We all have our unique aspect, but it's not really about discovering it. It's about uncovering it.
Right.
Because, like you said, it doesn't go away. It just what happens is more gunk and crap, and I want to cuss gets piled on, and we go about our lives. It's like the plaque in your veins.
Yeah.
Like it didn't start out that way. We just ate
just
crap.
builds up.
And it builds up, and we have to do something to give your body a chance to heal itself.
And the thing about readings is it's very seldom that I tell somebody something that they didn't know or they didn't have a feeling about. A good sign when you talking to somebody legit is that they're not going to tell you some wild, crazy stuff like, "Oh, you're going to die next week" or something like that. Like, no, like a good psychic reader is basically like just going to confirm things that you already know, or things that you've already felt, or you
Your
might have had a
intuition.
suspicion about, but you weren't sure. Like, no, like if somebody's telling you something, and you go to a psychic and they tell you something, it just seems so out of the realm, unless like you one of the few people who like actually are like delusional and don't want to hear the truth. But for the most
There are
part,
lots
like
of people like
psychics-
that. Don't act like Please don't act like we not
Yes.
walking with them every day. Like
yes, but I'm just talking about in reference to psychic readers. But yes, that is true for the general
Girl.
populace. But
that's a girl moment. I need to just get a T-shirt that says "girl" and then with a period, and then I just look at people and be like,
girl. But yeah, like I typically don't tell people stuff that they don't already know, and like that's what my job is. Like I have a little tagline for my business, by Oracle Consulting, and I say that I deliver the 4C promise, and you know, like how the diamonds have the 4 C's. So, like I say, after a reading with me, you're gonna have clarity, confidence, control, and I don't remember the fourth one because it's been so long since.
Cuteness.
Well, you should be cute before you come to it, because I'm not a makeup artist. I can't help you look better. I can't help you.
I want you to be a mint, like she's chocolatey. I just love her. So Martin, I'm taking your wife.
I know I need to get on this hug too.
I know. Come on, group hug. We're gonna go to break. Were you gonna say something, Eric?
Nope.
We're gonna go to break, and we come back. I have my question.
Yes.
EcoWord. Wednesdays on Reality Check with Charles Ellison.
4 p.m. till 7 p.m.
Right here on Word Radio.
And WordRadio.com.
The Kimmel Center offers free arts education programs to schools across the region. Teaching artists visit classrooms to educate, engage, and inspire the next generation using creative learning experiences, and schools take trips to the Kimmel Center for live performances. The Kimmel Center is committed to educating Philadelphia's youth by providing access to quality arts. For more information, visit kimmelcenter.org. Support independent black media and join the 4WURD movement now at 215-425-7875 or visit wordradio.com.
3, 2, 1. Oh no. Which button am I?
When every second counts, you can't wing it.
Guys, a little help up here?
In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So make a family home fire escape plan. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year so everyone knows what to do when they hear. Prepare your family at ready.gov/fire drill. Brought to you by FEMA, the Ad Council, and Make Safe Happen.
Hey everybody, we're Kindred, the Family Soul, and you're tuned into The Lounge with Envy McKee
and DJ Frosty Phoenix
on WURD.
Welcome back to Friday Night at the Lounge. Envy McKee, DJ Frosty Phoenix in the studio. Martin, hi, still here. We have Dr. Ajima. And we have Empress Naima. And if you can, I do too.
I love it.
And just so that you know, I don't know if it's pertinent or relevant. I mean, it is relevant, but I don't know if it's pertinent to you. Martin and Naima are betrothed. Well, no, you're already together, so not betrothed. What comes after? 5 years you've been married.
We've been married since November 2016. We've been together since February 2015, which is 4 years and 2.5 years. But he has this thing where he likes to add years onto things. He's been calling me 35 since I was 34 in 3 months. He likes to speed things up.
I feel you on that one because listen, UN. DJ UN, he knows who he is. Everybody knows his name is Freeman at this juncture. We have that same thing where I'll be like, oh, what time is it? And clearly it's like 12:20, and he'll be like, it's 12:30. No, it's 12:20. And he'll be like, no, it's 12:30. I'll be like, it's 12:20. There's
Just
a
round
whole
up.
10 minutes that you are stealing from me that I want.
She flirted with me. I was on my way to Louisiana for
lying.
Prince. Prince brought us together.
The what? The quest?
Prince brought us together.
Prince Rogers.
Prince.
Yes.
Yeah, because he was doing this Yes We Code
But
at
it
Essence
didn't,
Fest.
because you
And she
ignored
popped up
me.
my inbox
But you
talking
ignored
about,
me.
oh, you coming to
I didn't
Louisiana?
pop up in your
Well, you want to
inbox.
meet for some
I
coffee
do not
and beignets?
inbox people. I do not inbox
Okay.
men. You come to
Anyway,
me.
get back to Envy's question.
Martin, stop messing with my girl. You will not win this
Thank
one.
you.
This
Thank
is
you.
my girl right here. And stop adding time. Let her get there.
It's starting to affect me because, like, it is because, like, all day yesterday I was thinking it was Friday.
That's right.
And it's like, oh, it's Thursday.
Y'all are time snatchers. That's going to be a chapter in my book called Time Snatchers.
I like it.
If you are on time, you late.
Listen, all y'all have been
Now you sound
socialized.
like my old
on,
band director.
Look, on Man Box Island, you all have been socialized with the same nonsense. Time.
I
Anyway.
don't even like daylight saving times because they try to manipulate time, and then I'll live with somebody.
And you know it was a man who did it. See?
You know it.
Only men.
You know it.
Look, he got real quiet.
What you got to say now?
So my question
to be answered.
my question is, I feel like over the course of the last few weeks, there's been a message that's trying to get to me, and maybe I'm not, like, I've been picking up all the coins. Like the other day, maybe it was yesterday, there was like, my phone changed by itself. My alarm kept going off. It went off at 7:19, and went off at 7:20, and it went off at 7:21. I did not change my alarm, but when I went in to go look and see what was going on, it was like this much. My alarm had been added like this much. It was like this. It was like a line. I'm going, I didn't do it. And no one can get on my phone. I don't know how that happened. So I feel like there's a message that the Oracle wants me to know, and I want to find out what the pertinent information is that apparently, as I sit in meditation, is not coming through.
Okay, I got you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, the first card that I have for you in the past position, the Seven of Hearts, this is a card that has to do with learning to love free of condition, loving without attachment, loving people right where they are and not really expecting anything in return. This card is also a card of, it can also be a card of heartbreak and loss. It could be a card of unreciprocated love. So this, since this is in the past position, I feel like this is telling me this is a major lesson that you had to learn. Like perhaps you would give of yourself and give and give and give, and like you feel like you just weren't getting back the effort that you put into the relationship, and you had to find a way to learn how to to balance things in relationships, but you also had to learn how to use your discernment to know whether or not somebody was even worth all the energy that you were putting into them in the first place. A lot of people like to say the Seven of Hearts is a card of heartbreaks. I like to say it's a card of learning to use your discernment within relationships.
Yes.
Knowing who is worthy of your time, knowing who is worthy of access to your body, and who is worthy of being able to affect you on an emotional level.
Yes.
So the Seven of Hearts is really a card of really learning how to love yourself, and also kind of like that card I pulled for you is a card of learning how to set boundaries, but also just like really getting to a place of acceptance with yourself, but also with other people.
Yes.
And it's a card where you had to learn whatever people show you. That's who they are. Don't try to make it. Oh, well, they were harmed and they have baggage from relationship, or they were abused as a child. They ain't got nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And you need to learn. This card is an indication that you had to learn how far you will let somebody go with these sob stories.
Okay.
Now the next card for the present I have for you is the Queen of Clubs. Not put queens for both of y'all. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm a queen. Queen envy.
Sister queen.
Yes. Well, the Queen of Clubs is a card of self-mastery through service to others when it comes to information. And bam,
yeah,
on the radio, hey. But this is a card that means that you could be quite successful when it comes to the written word. I remember you saying that you went to school for communications, and I have 2 clubs for you. So words and interacting with people is just really your thing. But this tells me that you're ready to reach another level when it comes to the information and the wisdom that you share with other people. This can have to do with an expansion when it can indicate some type of mass media or something like that, which is we're on the radio.
No, but there's other things.
Oh, but yeah, this is a card that means that you're leveling up in that field. It's you've been almost like a disciple or a student of the of communication, basically your entire life, not even in college, even when you were a girl, learning things and sharing what you learned with people is a passion for you. And I'm seeing I don't know why I'm seeing the image of you on the stage, so maybe you're gonna expand it and start doing motivational speaking or something like that, or but
no, there is this image in my. I don't want to interrupt. Keep going.
Okay, and the last card is greatly related to that. I feel like it talks about because it's the 6 of clubs, and I explained, I pulled this card for you, didn't I? And this, it basically means the same thing, the results of the things that you've said and thought in the past, they're gonna meet up with you, and it's going to be beautiful, because the 6 of clubs is a karmic card, but people have this thing about karma, oh, it's bad, but karma is literally just the
what you put out.
That's right. Your actions. And you've been putting out some really dope stuff for years, and you're about to it's about to come back to you in some really unexpected and beautiful ways. And I just feel it all has to do with a message that you have to share to the world, with the world. And I feel that message has to do a lot with healing. It has to do with openness and honesty. I just keep when I focus on the energy of this card, I just keep hearing the words radical honesty in my head over and over again. And I feel you're here to push people past their limits and to expand their minds and and I feel you're going to be presented with a platform that's bigger than the one that you're currently on. I'm getting some serious, Oprah, Iyanla type of vibes. I can honestly see you having your own media empire one day.
I should have asked her about the babies.
I like how it was a question about, if someone's trying to reach you, it became a question. The answer came similar to mine in terms of your purpose going forward.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, y'all have similar purposes.
Well, they're intertwined. I know that.
They're aligned.
Yeah.
Nicely.
She going on this ride. She know. And you are too. And you are too.
It's like Oprah had Dr. Phil.
Listen. Hey. Don't play.
Hey.
Don't play. Well, I'm blown away. I mean, our inaugural Woo Woo show, I feel like was the most scientific, grounding, gorgeous, poetic, and I hope just listening, those of you who are a little scared, a little shook, I hope just listening that you see how we're by negating this part of ourselves, we're letting go of a big whole chunk of ourselves. And in order for us to truly find wholeness, we have to embrace all of our parts, right? And so if you would honor us to come back anytime you want to, you know what I'm saying? Please do. I think you're amazing. Like I said, I just want to eat you. And I know that sounds weird, and she's just so.
I'll just tap you and just absorb
right.
energy.
She's
Yeah,
just
that's
amazing. My
more
God.
appropriate.
Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you so much, Dr. A. Thank you so much, Martin. Thank you so much, Empress Naima. How can we reach you? Really quick.
So you can reach me at my website. It's thebayouoracle.com. And Bayou is spelled B as in boy, A-Y-O-U. Thebayouoracle.com. You can also email me at naima@thebayouoracle.com. And I'm reachable on social media at Bayou Oracle.
Hey, all right. So that's our show. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Up next is Freedom Sounds of Jazz. Yes. Go get your jazz on. All right, see you next week. Peace.